How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Starz Heels episode review. Yeah, so please, if you enjoy these, or if you're new here, give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. It very much helps out the channel, and I definitely appreciate you for that. So, let's just go ahead and get right on into it. Today's episode is episode 5. It's called Swerve. So, what is Swerve? I'm sure we all know what a swerve is in normal life, correct? And swerve, means to swerve somebody, or what's what I'm looking for? Put somebody off, put them to the side. But in the traditional sense of, I'm gonna say comics, in the traditional sense of wrestling, a swerve is when a sudden change happens in the direction of the story, which completely throws off the fans, the people who thought they knew where something was going, and usually it involves one wrestler turning on another one, becoming a face wrestler that's a friend of the good guy turning on him, joining the bad guy. It's a thing that's used to make new feuds and just totally shake up things. I think pardon me, two examples, one good, one bad, is when Austin betrays The Rock and joins Vince McMahon. When Austin turns fully heel, even though Austin's not really a face, he's technically what we call a tweener, an in-betweener. Him joining him joining Vince McMahon, that kind of threw everybody off. No one would ever see that coming. So, and a bad example for modern times, I want to say in the year 2000, when 2000 year 2020, when Tucker turned on Otis in WWE, which made legitimately no sense. The reason for him turning on him was because he was jealous of Otis's fame, even though they have been wrestling together as a tag team since way before they even joined WWE. So that was just something just to get the Money in the Bank briefcase off of Otis. That's a bad example, but the Austin one is a good example. I think what would be a swerve in AEW? I guess a swerve in AEW will be what happened last week. I want to say at Rampage when Billy Gunn hit Paul White, aka the Big Show, in the back with a chair. That was a pretty big swerve. Didn't think that would have gone that way, but that's exactly what happened. So, another really cool thing is the North American champion in NXT. His name is Isaiah Swerve Scott. So that's probably where the swerve, you got to put it in quotation marks, the swerve came from. So let's just talk about this episode. Wow, just a wow. And it's funny because there are several swerves in this. Swerve number one was Rooster not making himself win the Royal Rumble because him and Jamie, they had talked about it. Jamie was absolutely tired of hearing Rooster bitch and complain about not winning. And he says, "Look, man, you're my friend. I don't care about winning. I just like wrestling. So I can go over the top rope. I don't have to win tonight." And that was very touching. That was a really touching moment. But Rooster did not take that. Another swerve. I guess it's a mini swerve. And I will get to it when I talk about Jack. When Rooster asks Jack, what is his name? And Jack gives him his full name. All four names. Because he's Afro-Latino. So he has four names. His full name. And says, "Look, don't make me out to be a person I'm not. I appreciate everything you do. I know who you are. I know." He even ran down, who he talks to on the phone. He ran down things about his family, things about him from his life. He's like, "Dude, I know who you are." Jack isn't just the normal Georgia white man who doesn't care about this black guy. He's like, "No, I know you. Just I got a lot going on. I'm trying to run everything down. But if you are, um, if you're disgruntled and you're feeling uncomfortable and left out, just talk to me. I promise I will talk to you." That was another little swerve. Another swerve was, instead of Ace reading the new script that was a swerve of a swerve, Crystal just went off the rails and didn't do her promo like Jack wrote, which we're going to get into that too. And that was the swerve of the swerve because originally they were just going to have just Crystal, distract Bobby and for Ace to beat him. Excuse me. That got swerved because Ace is a fucking man child and brings in the young lady he was having relations with last episode, Trisha. He's like, this is my new valet. And Ace and Jack is just going along with it. There's a swerve. And then the two swerves at the end was Bill coming in the ring. It looked like he was dragging the DOW through the mud. And it looked like Jack was ready to go out there and finally whip his butt when he somehow turned it around and then the swerve of that was that the Georgia Council wants them to be in the Georgia State Fair, the whole DWL, to perform there. The show was full of swerves and turns, which that's more or less typical of Starz shows. Starz shows are, shows like this are typically really well done. I think even if you aren't a wrestling fan, a person would enjoy this show, especially for the drama. And you do learn some things along the way. Crystal said the biggest thing. Crystal says when you throw up the X, that means someone's actually hurt, and we do see a real X being thrown up in the episode. So you will learn some terminology and some things going on here, such as let's go through, and I'm going in order of more or less importance here. Number one is Bill, and it took me a minute to realize this, but Bill has been around since the very first episode. I think he's been in every episode, save for episode 2. I think he was in episode 2 just to tell Ace, "No, man, you cried. Bye." Um, Bill, for like a remember, Bill's the devil. He's the little devil on a person's shoulder that's just like speaking in there because he pumped up Crystal's head, which is it's bad because within the words that Bill says, it's always some bit of truth. When he's talking to Crystal saying, "No, you're pretty much a star," and Crystal's like, "I don't think I belong here." After she called dumbass Ace boning Trisha in his car, while he thinks, for whatever reason, that Crystal was in Bobby's trailer, which she wasn't. She was in her own damn Jeep, and called your idiot butt. But Bill's telling her, "No, you belong here. It's just any moment that's not scripted, just take your time." He's like, "Show your face. The people like you." Ace just hates the fact that you're more over than he is, which is a lie. Crystal is over. She's very much over. But I don't know if she's more over than Ace. He jumped in. He jumped in the signings and everything. Because Ace stayed away from Bill. He went to go pee while him and Crystal were having their little mini fight. Which Crystal did call him an idiot. Which was funny, saying he doesn't know how to spell ACE. And again, Bill was right there too. When some guy tried to get Crystal to take the picture of both of them, he's like, "No, we're all going to be in the picture because she's a star." And Bill swerves Debbie, "You're precious, but you're so stupid." Because he said, "You knew Jack didn't want him there." And she just said, "Well, stay off to the back and don't cause any trouble." Excuse me. And of course, Bill did. But that he saved them because when Ace broke Bobby's leg, that I was like, "That's it." And even Bill said when he met Stacy at the grocery store, because remember Stacy works at the grocery store. Even he said, "Oh, I can't wait to see how the Spade brothers fuck this up," which it was some help by you, Bill. Your machinations led to all this. You talking to Crystal led to Crystal going off script, led her to continuously piss off Ace in the ring, which led him to literal shoot, which means real. Shoot in wrestling means real. Do real actual pain and damage to Bobby and hurt the guy. Legitimately hurt him. Um, which Bill, you're a shitstorm. You cause so much issues for these people that are already still dealing with Tom Spade killing himself. It's crazy. But while his machinations kind of help them, I fear what's going to happen in this triple threat match for the belt, or this one-on-one with Jack versus Bill. Because Jack in the very beginning of the episode said he was going to kick Bill's ass. He heard Willie told him what Bill said. about he was the reason why his dad killed himself. And I really feel like Jack was gonna beat the hell out of Bill in the very beginning of this episode. I just you can feel it. Now the next important person I have on this list to talk about is definitely Jack. My goodness, you feel, and this is amazing. At first in episode one, you're like, man, you're a control freak. Episode two is like, man, you. And then last episode 4, it's kind of like, okay, episode 3 and 4 is like, okay, I get it. I understand the pressure you're under. I get what's going on. I get it. Um, he did a good job talking to his son about what was real, what isn't. His uncle isn't playing a heel because he's actually a really bad person. Neither is he. He's not an actual. Your dad's not an actual bad person. It's just it's to mimic real life. There are some bad people out there, but me and your mama raising you to be a good person, and you are a good person, right? He's great. He does typical dad stuff. His wife Stacy told him he can't get a gerbil, but he's like his son is so fixated on death and what's going on when people pass because he brought up him and his friends had fed their class gerbil to a snake. He's like, "Oh, that must have hurt really bad when that gerbil died." It's like, God, kid, you are so fucking morbid. Be a normal kid, but he can't be a normal kid because he's not in a. Well, I guess no one's family is normal. Can't be a normal kid, but he's looking at the situations he's in. Um, just wow. But what's really sad is that while he's holding Tom's hand as his son, holding Tom's hand, he's also holding Ace's hand. In the very, very, very beginning, when Crystal is reading that promo, delivering it perfectly, Jack's like, man, that's fantastic. Well, what do you think, Ace? And Ace is like, no, I think we should just get rid of it because Ace is a dick. He saw Crystal with Bobby last episode, and he's all up in his feelings. He's a fucking child, and he can't have any type of good communication. Remember, you're the one that said, "You're not my girlfriend, you fucking bitch," and pushed her off of you. You are now reaping what you sow, and now you're still gonna be an asshole about it. And it's just that's the one thing. Just shame on you, Jack, because he's been pulling his brother along for so long that I think at the end of this, when he goes off on him while they're in the hospital, he's like, when Ace like, I didn't mean to do. He's like, bullshit, man. He's like, you know what? That's why I made you to heal because you are a piece of shit. And unfortunately, his son saw it and his son ran away, which Willie says you need to talk to him about everything that's actually going on. And it's just I feel for Jack. He is a loving husband. He loves his wife to death, loves her to death. And he's actually a really good man. I told you earlier about that conversation with Rooster. That for me was a very character defining moment for Jack. Because Jack is a man with so much going on. I don't even know Rooster's real name. I don't even know Apocalypse's real name. I know the guy who plays him. I know James. I know James is real. I know the real person's name. I don't know these guys' real name. And he knew all 4 of your names. He knows what you do. He legitimately cares. It's just he's trying to do what's best for this company because he's trying to honor his father and not let his father just be the guy that killed himself. And I one thing I did kind of leave out, but I'm gonna swerve my way back up to Bill. Bill was up here harassing the shit out of Stacy, and I guess I'll get to Stacy. Stacy's is online, but the next one we're talking about is Crystal, and her being talented isn't a lie. She is very talented, but I just you feel for her. She has been doing everything that people wanted her to do, everything that people has asked of her to do, and for one reason or another, everything keeps blowing up in her face. And eventually, she will have to take responsibility for her going off script because the thing she was saying like, pardon me, saying Ace can't satisfy her because the swerve was she was cheating on him with Bobby, which in Ace's sick dumbass head, that's what he thought what was actually going on in real life. When you are the one that said she's not your girlfriend, but she ripped into him, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just The fact she wasted money to get a new outfit. Willie told her to get a new outfit. She wasted money to get a new outfit to valet for this jackass. Because she only had $101. She doesn't make a lot of money. And it's just, it's sad. And we're going down the line. Let's go to this man child Ace. He is definitely the guy you all know who peaked in high school. And his new valet Trisha. She was talking about she was 2 years varsity cheerleader or some crap. Like who? You guys in your upper, your I almost said lower 20s. What counts as lower 20s? I guess older. You're in your early 20s. No one gives a shit. You're grown ass adults. Who cares what you did? And and in some context that actually matters. When you're a nice person, people care about things you did in high school. They care about, oh, you're a cheerleader, cool, that's pretty nice. Oh, you ran track, cool, I did too. Oh, you were on a basketball team, that's pretty cool. When you're a nice person, people care. When you're an asshole who doesn't really do anything but just care about yourself, people tend to not give a damn about what you did in any part of your life, especially when all you're talking about is like high school. Like I did this in high school and that was amazing. Okay, well, what have you done lately? And that's not to disparage anybody. People who were like doing things like I had a couple of friends in high school who were all state in wrestling. That was a great accomplishment, but they're not assholes. That's where that line is. And Ace is definitely, and some of this blame falls on Jack because Jack shouldn't have gotten him into wrestling. Because the guy, while he's athletically able, like he's very capable, and it kind of reminds me of a female wrestler who I will not name. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they are athletically capable. But I do feel like they're very entitled. Woo! But he kind of reminds me of this person. But he's so immature. Instead of me harping on, he peaked in high school, let's just mean he's immature. The dude's very immature. Wanting to change the story, getting rid of Crystal's moment to shine. And he brought her to tears because she had a speaking moment. She had a moment to shine with the original thing, and her getting the double swerve before her own swerve and the swerve of the swerve. It's 5 swerves, y'all. Before the swerve, she had a moment to shine, and he took all that away because he's a child. You're the one struck first because you took her for granted. Then you were actually an asshole to her. Then when she rather work than and hang out with a nice guy, and she has no sexual attraction towards Bobby. Yeah, she probably does, but she's not doing anything with him. I mean, it was a very funny, awkward moment when they had to make the pictures look real, and he's such a good guy, he doesn't want to do anything. But she took the lead, and Bobby did rise to the occasion. And yeah, just you broke Bobby's leg, and that's rule number one. You do not hurt the person you're working with, because now they can't trust you at all. But let's get down to Stacy, Willie, and I think I put 3 characters together because Stacy Stacy and Willie in indirectly led to Bill showing up. You know, Willie even let him stay at her place. Then Stacy being like, they're gonna get the state fair and show you because you're a piece of shit. Because this dude was talking about, oh, he dropped the thing of pickles and she had to clean it up, and she's like, oh, you touched my pickles. She just said, you're inappropriate piece of garbage. You know, I chose to work here. Jack didn't make me work here. And she's right. Like Bill is another guy who's pretty immature, very immature. Even his press conference, he couldn't. He he jokes and he has a charm to him, but he is a very toxic individual. And Ace is very much on his way of being a toxic individual too. Um, Debbie's dumb. Just put that out there. Bobby, Bobby's a good man because even after getting his leg broken in front of all those people, when they pull him in the back, he's still apologizing to Jack. And Jack is with this guy all the way until he gets to the ambulance, until Bill starts talking, and he has to go out there and take care of that. He's literally, just literally, Bobby's a really good guy. Apologizing, telling Crystal she's great. She looks great in anything. I really, and was it last episode? If it wasn't last episode, it was episode before last when he was on top of the water tower. It was episode before. On the top of the water tower. My goodness, I I don't want Bobby to die. If Bobby dies, that's just gonna be a bummer. You can get rid of Ace though. I don't care. You can get rid of Ace, please. Um, I have a little tiny thing about Rooster. I don't know if he's gonna stay. The previews, not gonna spoil any of that for you guys. Previews, I don't know. There is some loyalty there, and there is some respect there. But I don't think even if he went to the the GLW, where the place that's using Impact, using Impact footage from with Abyss, I don't know if he would even be respected there. He might get a quick little push, but who knows? Tom, little Tommy Spade. Oh wow, I just realized Thomas is named after his grandfather. Ooh, that hurts. Ooh, that hurts a lot. Damn. Your son is named after your dad, and your son is focused on lineup. Yep, I see the connection now. But Tom is basically like Bobby. He's a good boy. He's like Bobby and like Ace, but it's appropriate for him to be like Ace because he's actually a child. Ace shouldn't be acting like a child. The thing about Tom is he wants to know, okay, but my uncle's really not a bad guy, right? Children can sense when things aren't going on. All of us who are watching my video, we've been children at one point in time. Children know. You know. We all know. Yeah, certain things might fly over their heads, but they can tell when something's going wrong and when things aren't right. And I really do hope that Jack gave him just told him that things are gonna be okay. Things are just getting rough right now, but your Uncle Ace is a good guy. I love you. Your mom loves you. Yeah. But all in all, I need to start giving MVPs of episodes. The MVP of this episode, by far, man, I'm gonna have to throw it. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna share it. It's gonna be a dual MVP. MVPs with Bill and with Bobby. Actually, Bill. It's a three way. Bill, Bobby, and Jack. Mostly because Jack haven't showing that respect to Rooster while still maneuvering and taking care of all this business. Um, Bill, because Bill literally pushed everything along without needing to be in that spotlight. He pushed this story all the way along, probably without ever like people fully realizing what he's done. And Bobby, because Bobby's great. I like Bobby. Oh, I do. I did forget one thing about Tom. Tom helped tremendously. Pardon me, tremendously with the conversation with the committee because all three of them, black man, Indian man, and white woman, that's a very diverse committee for Georgia. I was just kind of surprised they weren't all men. That's pretty interesting to me. Um, all white men. I'm actually surprised, but he helped with that committee. Like he definitely pushed, saying this is what goes on, this is what happens, and X Y Z. And from a child standpoint, he's doing a good job, especially since they are supposed to be a children's their family company, and Jack is gonna try his best to keep it that way. It's hard, but he's gonna try his best to keep it that way. This episode, man, it's hard for me to rank these. I love all of these, but if I were to give episode 1 a 5, this gets a 5 too. The other ones, episode 3 was in between. Episode 3 gets a 3, but uh, 2 and 4 are 4s. This is definitely a 5. This one had those and the twists weren't too much. They weren't ironic. The swerves that we got were very, very, very well done. I appreciate them. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I sincerely hope if anyone dies, it needs to be Bill. He needs to die on the toilet. And Ace can fall into a creek and it'll be a sad second episode, but hey, hey. Everyone needs therapy. Everyone needs therapy in this episode, by far. I told you last episode they need therapy. Please talk to these people. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. I'm genuinely interested if people are still enjoying this show after 5 episodes. It's been 5 weeks. I love it. Let me know if you love it too. Please, as always, give me a like. I already asked you for that comment, but after you do that comment, I need you to give me a subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you are subscribed. Get more notifications of Heels videos that are coming out. Hey, please share the video so others can see what a great informative time we're having here. We still have big things coming for this channel because we're going to keep on pushing. As always, I appreciate you all, truly. Please be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear your mask, be good to yourself, be good to others. Please don't be a jerk, and I will definitely see you next time. Good night.